රමණීයයි මේ මధుර ජවනිකා වනපෙතේ කළු කරයි කුරුළු ගීතිකා පාවෙන ලලාත
Okay. Gaini Kaushalya, where are you from?
Kakira, madam.
Are you a teacher?
Yes.
Where do you work?
At Murunga Secondary School.
So what are the classes you are teaching and what's your subject?
English, madam, for grade 7, 8, 5, and 11.
So then what is your appointment?
NCOE, madam, Polgola.
Right. In which year?
2015.
Sometimes back. Now, how many years of experience do you have now?
8 years, ma'am.
Good. In the same school?
No. This is my third school.
Oh, that means now you are close to your home.
Yes, ma'am.
So during that time, who were the lecturers in your college? Basnagoda sir, was he there?
Yes.
Then,
Madam Ratnaika, Mahabodhi madam.
Mahabodhi madam, later on, she was the president at Peradeni, and even Basnagoda sir, he became the president of Pasunrat.
Yes, ma'am.
And he got his retirement last year.
Yes.
Now I am the vice president admin of Pasunrat.
Happy to hear you, ma'am.
Lot of work. Then who was the admin during your time? Admin VP?
Admin VP Pradeepa Dharmadas. Pradeepa, madam.
Yeah, Pradeepa madam was there. Ne?
Yeah.
Is she still there?
Don't know, madam.
Then academic VP was?
Academic VP was Madam Malini.
So later on that, later on who was the academic VP? I can't remember her name. Surname it's Veera Singh or someone.
After our year, administration was changed.
So during that, during your time, who was the president?
Hemamala madam.
Later on that, Kanthini madam became the president. Now still she is the president.
Yes, ma'am.
So there are 13 students that we can start. Right. So today we are talking about social guidance. I just want to know whether you have any problems related to the previous 3 lectures that how many lectures we conducted? 3? Is it 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, today is the 4th one. So then Do you have any problems related to the previous three lectures, or whether you did not understand, or just give me the feedback about the previous lectures? I did. Anything you want to get clarified, or anything you did not understand? You refer the notes and see, then if you don't understand, then we can discuss. I think the NCOE students that they have learned guidance when you are doing your course. Guidance is one of the components, a professional component. But here some of the topics are different than the NCOE syllabus. Okay, so we'll start with social guidance. So what kind of social relationships, the problems with social relationships the children have, students have? As you think, what kind of problems of social relationships the students have? Social relationships ළමයිගේ මොන වගේ ප්‍රශ්නද තියෙන්නේ? Yeah. Tell. Yeah, they have lots of problems related to their social relationships.
Communication problem, madam.
Yes, Puta?
Communication problem
Okay, communication problems with whom?
with their friends and
Hmm.
environment, like that,
Okay.
madam.
What else?
Competition among students, ma'am.
I'm talking about the relationships. Social relationships.
Friendships.
Okay, friendships.
Jealous?
Ah.
Jealousy?
Okay. Sometimes they have love relationships, right? So then that means heterosexual relationships, love relationships. So then sometimes they have close friends among them, sometimes better than parents, that they have very good friends. Parents are ready the friends like so those are social relationships. Sometimes they are very friendly with the teachers. The teachers are more friendlier than their parents, the students. They are very close to the students, some parents, some teachers. So then these are the social relationships they build up. So they, okay. So then students develop social relationship and have social interactions from people from different social backgrounds. Now, NCOE people know that when you are in dormitories, that you are meeting, you have to associate people from different social backgrounds. There are some students who are coming from very rich families, and there are some students who are coming from very low families and they are very poor, but they are very friendly, these children, that they help each other. Now, if they come to know that their roommates are not that wealthy, so others help. And even that when somebody is sick, others voluntarily help the student. So now on Sundays, when the parents bring food, that they share with others. And at the same time, as one of you said, so there's jealousy also. Sometimes because of the jealousy, they corner certain students. They make troubles for that one. So sometimes they switch off lights. then the student can't study, right? So there are certain things like that, social relationships, the problems of the social relationships. So they have to associate people from different social backgrounds, economic backgrounds, social status. සමහර හොඳ ෆැමිලි වල ඉහළ පැලැන්තියා ඉන්නවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඩෝම් එකේදී අනිත් අය එක්ක හොඳට ආශ්‍රය කරනවා. එහෙම වෙනසක් නැතුව. So then, but there are some students who face difficulties in adjusting to the environment. So now at the very beginning of batch එකක් ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ගත්තාම හරි ප්‍රශ්න සමහර අය ඉන්න කැමති නැහැ. යන්නම හදනවා ගෙදර. සමහර අය නවතිනවා. So they have adjustment problems. So being individuals, we should be able to adjust to any environment. ඕනින් පරිසරයක අපිට ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න අපිට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? So when we become adults and when we become matured, that we should be able to live in any environment. So adjusting to the environment is very, very important. Then social guidance help the individual develop feelings of social acceptance and social adjustment. Social acceptance. Now, people are accepted by the society. Some people are not accepted. So when they misbehave in the society, they are not accepted. If you behave well, if you become an example to the society, so they accept you. And so we have to adjust to the society. Just because in the society there are different types of people. එක එක අදහස් තියන අය ඉන්නවා, එක එක political views තියන අය ඉන්නවා, තරහ යන අය ඉන්නවා, හරිම හොඳ අය ඉන්නවා. So there are different kinds of people. So we have to adjust to the environment. Right? I think that කවුරු හරිගේ මේ Surya, will you please mute your mic? That it causes some unnecessary sounds. Yes, Surya, please. Causes some unnecessary sounds. Yeah, mic. Okay, thank you. Right, then. So social guidance, it plays a major role, especially when you live in dormitories, when you live in boarding places, when you live with some other people who are new to you, and when you are living in universities also, that it helps individuals to develop feelings of social acceptance, සමාජයේ පිළිගැනීමක් ඇති කරන්න. And social adjustment, සමාජයේ අනිත් අයත් එක්ක adjust වෙලා ඒකට අනුගත වෙන්න. Social guidance teaches individuals to be tolerant towards others. So if we want to live in the society, we have to tolerate others. The one, because our habits are not the same. Habits. So there are some people that we don't tolerate. But we can't help. If we want to live in the society, we have to tolerate them. Right? So we have to help them to develop feelings of social acceptance and social security. Social security, සමාජයෙන් ආරක්ෂාව, ඒක ඉතා වැදගත්. If the society is not safe, it's very difficult to live. පාර යන ගමන් කවුරු හරි ගහලා මරයි නම් මේ පාර ගියොත් ආය ආපහු ගෙදර එන්න එක ෂුවර් නැත්නම් it's a problem. But it's not there. So we have the social security. අපිට එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ. The social acceptance and social security are very, very important. සමාජයේ යමෙක්ව පිළිගන්න එක, එයාට ආරක්ෂාව දෙන එක හරි වටිනවා. So then, the social guidance mostly given by educational institutes. ඒ තමයි ඉස්කෝලේ යන්න තැමකට වඩා ඉස්කෝලේ යන කෙනෙක් හරිම socially adjusted. Right? So rather than a student, a child who doesn't go to school, one who goes to school is well adjusted to the environment. Then it is informally provided by the family, media. Social guidance denne family එක, media මාධ්‍ය. This basically should be given by the family. මූලිකවම දෙන්නේ family එක. Then the individual learn to adjust with various people in the society. So after that, they learn to adjust to the environment and to live with other people. Next one is moral guidance. What do you mean by moral guidance? Who should give that? Moral guidance. Can somebody explain?
Teachers can give, ma'am.
Teachers can improve the moral qualities of the child. So then moral guidance means that it shapes our life, good and bad, whether we can select good from bad, whether we do good things in the society, the things that they consider as accepted, right? So then it prevents people from indulging in wrong activities, undesirable practices. So if we are morally adapted, if we have been given moral guidance, we don't do things that is we don't engage in some undesirable practices that is not accepted by the society, right? Moral guidance should be provided at all stages of life. Because it's very important for the students to go in the right path, right? So, and to have a all-round development of the individual. It is essential moral guidance. So, we should identify good and bad, and we should do always good things rather than indulging in bad things. Right. Health guidance. What do you mean by health guidance, and who should provide health guidance? Tell.
Doctors.
Doctors. Who else? Medical officer of health, MOH.
Counselors, ma'am, counselors.
Counselors, but who else? Talk about the health guidance then. Doctors, counselors, talk. Why PHI? PHI also they give that how to prevent from dengue, how to keep our environment clean. Right? They also give us health guidance. Right? Then, why it is essential for students, health guidance? Why it is important for students, health guidance? What in it? Now you told health guidance is given by nurses, doctors, attendants. Right. So why do they get health guidance?
To keep the students' mind so peaceful.
Okay. Right. So then you know that health guidance is given by doctors, nurses, PHI, and even the teachers. They can teach the students. Now at the very beginning when the students are in grade 1, 2, they teach them that before eating they have to wash their hands. And after eating, they can wash their hands with soap. After using toilet, the students have to use soap and wash their hands. And we have to keep the environment clean, put garbage into bins. So like that, we teach them the health guidance. And from time to time, the school students are checked for their health, their teeth, and whether they have any problems. So they checked by the doctors and nurses who come to their school. Right. Then when should we start giving health guidance? Yeah.
From birth, madam.
Okay, from birth, right? We should give guidance from birth, especially when they are in their primary stage. Yeah, from birth also we have to teach them. And especially in their primary classes, we have to teach them good health practices. Right? So then it's a cooperative effort among principal, doctors, and psychologists or psychiatrists, right? This question. Objectives of guidance at the primary education stage. Read one by one. Okay, one of you read the first one.
It assists the students in developing a better attitude towards school activities.
What do you mean by that? Have a better attitude towards school activities. Now there are some students who say bedak nahi school gila, no use of going to school. Is it better to do something at home or earn some money. So they have some wrong attitude about the school. How can you develop a better attitude towards the school? How can you do that? Oh? How can you develop better attitude towards the school? School again with attitude Tell. Oh. There are some students who say it's no use of going to school. ගුරුවරු උගන්වන්නෙත් නෑ වැඩකට නෑ ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහලා කාටද වැඩක් තියෙන ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහලා ඊට වැඩිය හොඳ මේ කීයක් හරි හම්බ කරගන්නක ක්‍රීවිල් එකක් එලවලා. So they have some kind of attitudes. And they have some wrong attitudes about the teachers, some subjects. So how can you correct that? Hurry up, tell. Tell.
By building up an environmental friendly.
Okay. What else?
Telling them to value of the education.
Okay.
Teach attractive way.
Okay, teach in an attractive manner. Right? So they can build up a good attitude or good view about the school. Okay. Read the second one.
It enables the children to adapt to the tradition and regulation of the school.
Right. It enables the children to adapt to the traditions and regulations of the school, because there are some rules and regulations in the school. You can't violate them. There are certain traditions. අපි පාරම්පරිකව කරගෙන එන දේවල් සමහර ස්කෝලවල උදේ පාන්දරට මල් පූජා කරනවා විනාඩි 15ක් විතර. So they have their assembly on every Wednesday or Monday. So there are some traditions they have been bringing from some times back. So we can't change them. So they have to adapt to these traditions and regulations of the schools. It's called E3. Okay, somebody read the next one.
It assists the student in developing their physical and emotional stability in a balanced manner.
Right. So it helps, guidance helps the students to develop their physical and emotional stability. Not only physical, even the emotional stability, sthiratve, in a balanced manner. It's very, very important. Mind and body, both. They should be well balanced. Right. Next one. Yeah. Read the next one.
It enables students to identify their problems regarding adjustment with the school environment.
Right. It enables the students to identify their problems regarding adjustment. Adjustment is sambandha prashna with the school environment. So when they adjust into the school environment, they have some problems. So then the students identify those problems. Right. Okay. Next one.
To make the students independent.
Yeah, that's very important. So they should not depending on others. They should be very independent, very creative, innovative people, the students, right? So then the school should create an environment for them to become independent and do their studies innovatively. Okay, next one.
It ensures cooperation among the students.
Yes, the students should have cooperation among themselves when they are engaging in different activities in the school. Next one.
It facilitates the transition of a student from primary to high school.
It facilitates the transition of students from primary to high school. Now, we have to do all these things from the very beginning. Then only they will bring all these good things to their high schools. Next one.
It provides information to children regarding high school.
Right. So now in other countries, now unlike ours, there's in other countries, they are going to high schools after their basic education. So then they give information about these courses and everything. Okay. The objectives of guidance at the secondary stage. What are these objectives? Can somebody read the first one?
Its main objective is to familiarize the students with their school environment and enable them to cooperate with their classmates.
Okay, the main objective to familiarize the students with their school environment. That's very important. They have to familiarize the school environment. And they should be able to cooperate with their classmates. ඒගොල්ලන්ට එකට එකතුව වැඩ කරන්න, පරිසරය අඳුර ගන්න. That's very important. Next one.
It enables the students to critically analyze the subject options and to help them choose the best according to their aptitude.
Okay. It enables the students to critically analyze the subject options. Subject options. What are subject options? So instead of certain subjects, there you can select English literature or Sinhala literature or some other subjects. You have the liberty to do that, or you have the freedom to do that. So you can select subject according to your ability or according to your wish. Right? So then you can select the best subject according to your knowledge. Okay, next one.
It encourages the student to participate in co-curricular activities according to the skill set of their overall development.
Okay, so the students can engage in their co-curricular activities. If they are very good at basketball, they can engage in that. If they are good at football or volleyball, they can engage in that. If they are good at aesthetic subjects, they can do that. So then there's an overall development of the students. Okay, next one.
To ensure that the students grow in a healthy environment and have a healthy mind and body.
So now we can have a healthy mind and body if we live in a healthy environment. So the school should be a healthy environment for the students to have healthy mind and healthy body. Healthy body එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ, healthy mind එකකුත් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So then school should provide that opportunity. Okay, next one.
To meet the individual and social needs of
Adolescents. Right. So to meet the individual and social needs of adolescents, we yesterday we discussed about them, adolescents, the teenagers. So then the individual social needs are met. Their social needs are met. සමාජයේ ඒගොල්ලන් තියෙන අවශ්‍යතා ඒගොල්ලෝ සපුරා ගන්නවා. So then these adolescents. Right. Next one. Somebody read.
Guidance try to create an environment feasible for the healthy growth and development of the students.
Right. So then guidance try to create an environment feasible for the healthy growth and development of the students. So it's very, very important. Okay. Right. The objectives of guidance at the higher level of education. Now, like you all. Right. Read the first one.
It aims to inform the student about the process of admissions to college and universities.
Okay, next one. Okay, it aims to inform the students about the process of admission to colleges and universities. Now, if we consider about the colleges of education, these days we are admitting the students. So now there are certain criteria and there's a gazette notification. The students, so those who are qualified, they search, they ask from other people how to apply for this. So then the process and all, so then they apply for the colleges and as well as universities. Okay, next one.
It provides information to students about the co-curricular activities they can participate in their college or university.
Right. So now in considering about our colleges that we have aesthetic subjects, dancing, music, arts, then drama and theater. So there are so many co-curricular activities they can engage in. So like that in the universities also they have lots of co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Okay, next one.
It aims to help the students choose subjects and programs that can help them build a bright future.
Okay, so it aims to help the students choose subjects and programs that help them to build a brighter future, right? So they can choose certain subjects. If they are good at mathematics, they can select mathematics and to become become engineers, or as commerce subjects to become finance managers, audits, right? Like that. Okay. Next one.
Guidance aims to help the students get vocational advice so that the students can choose a career for themselves.
Right. So then school should provide them career guidance. Through thereby the students can select the best job that they can do according to their skills and qualifications. They can select the best job for them. Okay. Next, last one.
It aims to develop an environment
Conducive.
conducive to the educational and social needs of the students.
Right. So then guidance develop an environment conducive to the education. අධ්‍යාපනයට සුදුසු ඉගෙන ගන්න සුදුසු පරිසරයක් ඇති කරනවා and social needs of the students, right? So it creates a feasible environment for the students to do their studies. Okay. Developmental functions of guidance. Read the first one. What are the functions of guidance?
Helps the students in self-realization.
Okay. What do you mean by self-realization? Can you explain? Okay. What do you mean by self-realization? I understand about myself. What do I understand about myself? මොනවද ඉගෙන ගන්න මං ගැන?
Our strength and weakness.
Yes, our strengths and weaknesses, what I can do, what I can't do, what should I improve, what are my weaknesses, and I have to overcome them and improve my capacities. Yeah, strengths and weaknesses. Next one.
Helps in self-development of an individual.
Okay, it helps in self-development. තමන්ම වර්ධනය වෙනවා because sometimes we improve our skills, new skills. Now imagine you have never done music, but you study and you improve your musical ability, right? So then helps in self-development of an individual. තනියම develop වෙනවා. It helps in national development. So it has a goal, national goal. මුළු ලංකාවම දියුණු කිරීමේ හැකියාවක්. So it has a national goal. So then it helps in national development. ජාතියක් වශයෙන් දියුණු වෙන. Right. Okay. Next one.
It helps the individual for adjusting to the environment such as their school, college, workplace, or even home.
Okay. It helps the individual for adjusting to the environment such as their school, college, workplace, or even home. Because there are some children who cannot adjust. Even if adjust in the band. Now those who come to colleges of education, some of them cry and cry when they remember their loved ones. Sometimes they leave the course. Right? So they have to adjust to they should learn to adjust to the environment. Okay, next one. Okay, tell. I want your idea.
Guidance
ensures
ensures that individual can live peacefully in his environment.
Yeah, so if they have guide, if they can get guidance, they can live peacefully in the environment. So if they have problems, they can discuss with the teacher and they can live peacefully. Okay, next one.
Guidance enables the students to be oriented with the required information that can help solve various problems that they may face.
Yes, guidance enables the students to be oriented with the required information. So they can get required information to solve certain problems. එයාලගේ සමහර ප්‍රශ්න විසඳගන්න එයාලට තොරතුරු අවශ්‍යයි. So they can get required information from others. Right. Okay. Next one.
Guidance.
Guidance orients an individual to career planning, educational, personal, and social aims.
Right. Guidance orients. එකට orientation එකක් දෙනවා. Individuals and career planning, educational, personal, and social aims. So we are finally achieving all these objectives through guidance. Right. There are some more. Yes, read. Read them also.
Guidance services form an important part of schools, colleges, and universities across the world.
At guidance services. Guidance services from an important part of school. So they get some services from school, colleges, universities across the world. Right. Okay, next one. Somebody else read.
These services help the students to adjust to all aspects of their life and develop into responsible citizens of society.
It's a very, very important thing. These services, that guidance service and counseling services, help the students to adjust to all aspects of their life and develop into responsible citizens of society. තමයි වෙන්නම ඕනි. They should be responsible citizens. But what do most people do? They forget their responsibilities. ඒක වෙන කාටද දාලා නිකන් ඉන්නවා. Right? So then we have to have some responsibilities as citizens of the society. We have to have some responsibilities. Right? Okay. Next one.
These guidance consider the unique needs of the students and consider that each individual has different social, personal, and emotional needs.
Okay. These guidance services consider the unique needs of the students. But now my needs are different from your needs. People have ඒගොල්ලන්ට ආවේනික අවශ්‍යතා තියෙනවා. And consider that each individual has different social, personal, and emotional needs. Everybody has different social needs, different personal needs, and different emotional needs. Basic aim of guidance is complete adjustment. මේ ඔක්කොගෙම අපි කතා කරේ complete adjustment. යට සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ඕනිම දෙයකට හුරු වෙන්න අනුගත වෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. And overall development of an individual. So these two are very, very important to complete their complete adjustment and overall development of the individual. Okay. Now this is very, very important. There may be some students who are willing to migrate to other countries as child care providers, right? So then, so there are certain rules and regulations for the child care providers. Okay, go through them now. Okay, providing guidance to child care providers. So what do? Child care providers must keep the rules simple and easy to understand for the children. Now, there may be children from very young age to some adult students, but everybody should understand the rules and regulations of the place. Child care කරන්න කොහෙද තැනකනේ. ඒතර එතන තියෙන නීති රීති වලට අනුගත වෙන්න ඕනේ. Okay, next one. They must discuss the rules with the children. ළමයිත් එක්ක කතා කරන මෙන්න මේ නීතිය තියෙන්නේ මොකටද? මේ නීතිය පිළිපදින්න ඕනි. And repeat the rules often so that they follow the said rules. ඒකට ඒගොල්ලේ rules ඉගෙන ගන්න. එක තැනකින් පාර පනින්න. Even that sometimes that they child care means that the parents, those who go for jobs, they keep their children in the daycare center. So now in this daycare center, people who are looking after them have a greater responsibility, because that if something happens, that means if something wrong they learn, it's the responsibility of these child care people. So then they should be taught something new, they should engage in some activities, right? And they have to manage the fights and some disputes, some problems among them. So then therefore they have to make the students, make the children aware about the rules and regulations. So now you have to wash your hands before eating, and after eating you keep your boxes inside the bag, right? So then you have to work with others cooperatively, be polite, say thank you to them, say please, don't fight. So these things they can teach, the rules and regulations. And don't spill food, don't make the place untidy. So you can teach these rules, right? So example, children must help each other. You have to say, now, you have to help each other. Now imagine now your the neighboring student, if he finds any difficulty, you have to help her or help him, right? So you have to look after these toys, don't break them. So once you finish playing, you keep them in the particular place. You have to always use please and thank you, share your toys, share karagan. And don't fight for one toy, so you have so many here. And you have to be kind to each other, so don't fight with them. So you have to be kind to each other, right? And other thing is, childcare provider should not use don't කියන වචනේ පාවිච්චි කරන්න හොඳ නෑ වැඩි, right? So they have to build up positive behavior among the students, right? ගෙවල්ලා තියෙන ගන්න එපා යන්න එපා ගන්න එපා 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 එපාම කියන, so we should not do that. We should not use negative commands with the students, children. Right. Then daycare providers must not use negative sentences. Negative use karan hොඳ නෑ. Instead they have to use, rather than commanding, stop running. එව කියන්තු slow down and walk. දුවන එක වේගය අඩු කරන්න, අඩු කරලා හිමින් ඇවිදින්න. Don't say don't run. Don't do this, stop doing this, stop running. So we should not use them. Commands, we should not use commands. Instead of, we have to change our tone, change our words. Come, hold my hand. Instead of don't touch. Ready? Come, hold my hand. So we will go together and do the work. Like that. Then, rather than telling don't climb on the table, you can say keep your feet on the floor. So you can tell them in a very nice manner. Rather than stop shouting, you can say use a quieter voice. අඩුවෙන් කතා කරන්න, සද්දය අඩු කරලා කතා කරන්න. So you can tell them. So daycare providers must use simple and short sentences, because the children cannot understand their long sentences and difficult sentences. They should be very simple and short. Then they must make sure to talk to the child rather than shouting at them. We should not shout at children. ඒගොල්ලෝ ආදරණීයයි විදිහට හැදෙන්නේ, ලස්සන يعني හොඳට හැදෙන්නේ ආදරෙන් කතා කරලා, right? So if you shout at your children, even your children, if you shout at them and if you tell all the time don't do, don't not to do like that, so then they also just like that. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒ විදිහටම කතා කරන්න පුරුදු වෙනවා. So you have to use very kind words to your children. So when talking, should maintain eye contact with them. It's very important. Look at their eyes and talk. So they should be given time to respond to you. ඔයා ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහුවාම ඒකට උත්තර දෙන්න පොඩි වෙලාවක් ඒගොල්ලන්ට දෙන්න. Wait time එක. So you should give them wait time to respond to you. Don't ask several questions without getting the answers. So give them some wait time to answer. Okay. Children at daycare learn by observing. They observe the others and learn. සමහර නරක දේවලුත් ඒගොල්ලෝ observe කරලා ඉගෙන ගන්න. So therefore we have to be very careful to avoid such experiences, right? They observe the behavior of the daycare providers. Even the adults, they observe. So therefore it is essential for the daycare providers to use the right words, correct behavior, good manners. They have to be exemplary for the children, right? And we have to encourage the children also to behave well. And they should be given clear choices, clear instructions, and we should not force them to do the things, right? So then if we force them to do, their response is negative. ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතුවක්කාර වෙනවා අපි බලහත්කාරයෙන් ළමයින්ට මොන හරි කිව්වොත්. If we force them, they become very they respond in a negative manner. හරි ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතුවක්කාර වෙලා ඒක නොකරම ඉන්නවා. So then they should be given respect. They should not be punished. So if they do something wrong, we can give them small punishment without letting others know. Punishment right? So then you can talk to them in isolation and help them to overcome their problems and bad habits. If they use filthy words or wrong words, we can help them to overcome them, right? So we can guide them to behave in the correct manner, right? Other thing is, it's very, very important to appreciate the children. Appreciate karnata. So even if you find a very minute behavior of the children, you have to appreciate them. So to encourage them to do good things. If they have wrong behavior, you can punish them. So then always encourage them to behave in the right and positive manner. So if you encourage them, if you praise them, they will behave like that. Right? Then daycare providers are good coaches and good guides, and they teach children what is right and what is wrong. They help them to distinguish these two. Then they at the daycare center, children are taught social skills, good manners. So then these things are taught through activities. Playway method, sellang karala e wage dewal kala thamai uganna. Then they use games, right, to teach good manners. Now, recently that you might have seen that children are given some skills. Redi hodanna kiyala denawa. Pol ganna, right? Podi podi deval hadanna. So then these things they are taught in the kindergarten, and even these can be done in the daycare centers also. So then if they make mistakes, let them say sorry. Then daycare sent that people who are responsible here, that they should help them to change their wrong behaviors, right? So you should not use negative tone or very strict tone to the children, right? So you have to be very kind to the children of the daycare, right? So we were talking about the daycare. Now we are moving to the counseling. So if you have anything related to daycare center, so previous things, just tell me. We can discuss again. Anything, any idea? What else you can add to these daycare centers, what we have discussed, rather than what we have discussed? Yes, add something. So you might have visited these daycare centers. So yes, anything you want to add to the things that we have discussed? Yeah. Right. Now we are discussing about counseling. How does counseling differ from guidance? How does counseling differ from guidance? Who can give guidance?
Counselor,
Guidance ennu pulang kaadu.
teacher, parents, friends.
Anybody can give guidance. A teacher, a parent, adult, peers, siblings. But can they give counseling?
Can't, madam.
Why? Why? What are the characteristics of a counselor? Yeah. What are the characteristics of a counselor?
Counselors are specially trained, ma'am.
Yeah, they are professionally trained people. So everybody cannot give counseling. So they are professionally trained people. It's a professional service that is provided to individual, right? So now when somebody is facing a problem, if they need some help to overcome, they can get the support of the counselor. It's an integral and central part of guidance. Guidance is counseling. Right? Now, pros of counseling. Hello. Now there's a disturbance. Can you just mute your microphone? In any case, if you want to ask anything, you can unmute and talk, right? So then counseling is a very essential part and a central part of guidance, and it helps individuals to find solutions to a problem and help to overcome the problems. And it is essential for overall development of an individual. Who should find solutions to the problems? Who should find solutions to the problems? Hello. කවුද හොයන්න ඕනි solutions problems වලට?
counselor madam.
කවුන්සලර් හොයලා දෙනවද? අනේ හරි ෂෝක්නේ. මොනවා ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහම කවුන්සලර් ගාවට ගියාම හරි වැඩේ. Is that the counselor who finds solutions for the problems? What does counselor do?
He helps the individual to find the solution.
He gives advice, or he helps and he shows the path for the client to find solutions. They never find solutions. The client has the right or authority to find solutions, but counselors help them to understand the problem and help them to find solutions. Ready-made solution. But in guidance, it can be done. Guidance ready-made solution right. So counseling is a process that involves two people. Who are these two people? Who are these two people involved in counseling?
The counselor and the one who
Counselor and
needs help.
client.
Yeah, counselor and the client. So it is a professional relationship between these two people, counselor and the client. Right. Now read the first definition that is given by Willie and Andrew. Can somebody read it? First definition. Hurry.
Counseling involves two individuals, one seeking help and other a professionally trained person, help solve problems to orient and direct him or her towards goals.
Right. Counseling involves two individuals, counselor and the client. One is seeking help, and the other a professionally trained person. So then this professionally trained person help the person who is seeking help to solve problems. Right. Okay. Next one. Somebody else read the second definition.
Counseling is a dynamic and
Purposeful
relationship between two people who approach a mutually defined problem with mutual consideration for each other to the end that the younger or less matured or more troubled of the two is aided to a self-determined resolution of his problem.
Okay, right. So that is the definition given by Wren. Next one. Abukul. Read somebody else. Read the next definition.
Counseling is helping a person to come to see who he really is, what he has and does not have, what he can do easily, what he can do with difficulty, and what he cannot do at all. It is a close sharing of a human relationship with one who has for him a high regard, one who can offer him unconditional acceptance, but one who has no guarantees, no answers.
Counseling is helping a person to come to see who he really is. They give an understanding of the person. What he has and what he doesn't have, what he can do and what he can't do, and and it's a close sharing of human relationship. It's a sharing of human relationship with one who has for him a high regard, right? So one he can be provided with acceptance, unconditional acceptance, right? So we can't expect an answer from the counselor, but he is only helping you to find answers. Next one, Lawrence M. Bramer and Everett. Read that one also.
Counseling is a purposeful, reciprocal relationship between two people in which a trained person helps the other to change himself or his environment.
Okay, very good. Next one, given by Ren.
Counseling is a dynamic and purposeful relationship between the people in which procedures vary with the nature of the student's need, but in which there is always mutual participation by the counselor and the students, with the focus on self classification and self determination by the student.
Okay, counseling is a dynamic, very active, purposeful relationship. There's a purpose to do something between the people in which procedures vary with the nature of the student's need, but in which there is always mutual participation, अन्योन्य सहभागित्व, by the counselor and the client, with the focus on self-classification and self-determination by the students. Okay, right. Okay. Shetzer and Stone. Somebody read that definition. Right? So if you feel this is good, you can study that. Okay, read now. Shetzer and Stone.
Counseling is an interaction process which facilitates meaningful understanding of self and environment and result in the establishment or clarification of goals and values for future behavior.
Okay. Next one, Edwin C. Lewis.
Counseling is a process by which a troubled person is helped to tell and behave in a more personally satisfying manner through interaction with an uninvolved person, counselor, who provides information and reactions which stimulates the client to develop behavior which enables him to deal more effectively with himself and his environment.
Okay, that is the definition given by author of the Psychology of Counseling. Right. Counseling is a two-way process. So there are two individuals, as you told. There is counselor and then the client. It's a mutual cooperation between them. Relationship. Counseling enables an individual to gain self-understanding and develop self-acceptance. Self-acceptance. The aim of counseling is same as guidance. Total personality development aim. Counseling also helps an individual adjust to his or her environment. Parasarata අනුගත වෙන්න උදව් කරනවා counseling and conditions and lead a happy life. Counseling is a process, එක ක්‍රියාවලියක් that involves giving information, advice and counseling. So counseling is not judgmental. අපිට judge කරන්න බෑ counseling වල. Restricted giving advice අවවාද නොදී ඉන්න බෑ. Attempting to solve the problem. So now you can help the client to find solutions, but you are not giving the ready-made solution. There are three main activities that make up counseling, right? One is informing. That is, counselor gives information to the client. So now if the client needs some information, so counselor gives the information. Then next one, advising. Counselor suggesting the right course of action that must be taken to solve the problem. So now counselor helps the client to take the right action. Where the action to solve the problem. Help karna. Then counseling. So there are three main activities. First one is informing. What is informing? There are three main activities that make up counseling. What is the first thing? Salam kata karanne?
Giving information.
Yeah, giving information. By whom to whom?
By the counselor to the client.
Very good. Then next one?
Advising.
What do you mean by advising?
Giving some right suggestion to take good decisions to solve the problem.
Yeah, help him to take good decision, no, right? Solve problem by the counselor. Then last one?
Counseling.
Yeah, what do you mean by counseling?
understanding the client's needs and help them to take the right decision.
Yeah. So then helping the client understand his or her needs and provide necessary help for the client to take the right decision. So then now you must be able to understand who is taking the decision and who is helping him to support him to take the decision. Okay. Counseling entails assisting a person. So now it is mainly helping a person who is in need. Right. So then it is helpful for the person that who need counseling to face the society, right? To associate other people in a very positive manner. Counseling help to alleviate negative responses. Through counseling, the client avoids negative responses to a problem and enables an individual to overcome the problem. So the counselor's task is to help him to overcome the problem. Right. Okay. Counseling is a mutual relationship among two people, between two people. Who are these two people?
Counselor and the client.
Right. So then there are a lot of discussions, face-to-face interaction. Right. It's a face-to-face relationship. And there's a professional aspect. What is the professional aspect here? Counselor is a professionally qualified person. Right. Next one. Areas of counseling. So then first one is educational counseling. So then students during their schooling, they face lots of problems related to education and the learning teaching process. What are these problems? Tell me, what are the educational problems the children encounter related only to education? What are they? Tell me the problems encountered by the students.
Exam fear.
Exam phobia.
Unable to understand some lessons.
Unable to understand some concepts, some lessons. Then what else?
Backbenchers are not involved in the lesson.
Yes, the students in the back rows, they are not involving in the lessons.
Unfavorable learning environment.
Unfavorable learning environments.
Lack of facilities.
Lack of facilities. There are so many. What else? Tough timetable. What else? Punishments, favoritism. Punishments by teachers, favoritism by teachers. So these are the educational problems. Then, so these problems are addressed by educational counseling and by the counselor. Right? So then, educational counseling provide workshops, special programs. Now, as an example, if the children are facing some problems, exam phobia, so then, so they are given some workshops, special programs. Then, children are allowed to study skills, life skills. Through practical activities, they are given some life skills. The counselors help them to achieve their goals, to take decisions. They support the client in their academic success. That means overcome exam phobia, anxiety. What is procrastination? What do you mean by procrastination? Anybody who knows that word? What is procrastination? Anybody? Yeah? Postponing things. කල් දාන එක. අපි ආනේ හිට පාඩම් කරනවා. උන්වේ ලබන සතියෙම කරනවා. That is also a very bad thing. It should be stopped. Right. So counselors also guide the client in understanding and interpreting educational problems. So they make the clients understand the problems and help them to overcome the problems. Right. Family counseling. What are the family problems they encounter? Yanban, what are the family problems they encounter? Why do they need family counseling? Hurry up.
Economical conditions at
Okay,
family.
economic condition of the family.
Parents fight, madam.
Okay. Fight with
Parents separated parents.
Separation, yeah, separation of parents. So, yes.
Neglection from the family.
Neglection. Who is neglected?
The child.
Yeah, children are neglected by the family members. Okay. Separation, death of family loved ones. Separation, velmima. Right? So, disputes among parents. Right. So, then, so there are people who face lots of problems in their marriage life. So therefore, they need family counseling. Right? So not only the married couples, even the couples who are about to get married also can go and have counseling. So psychotherapy, treatment. Right? So it helps to promote better relationship, understanding within the family. The family counseling, they know both their so now here you have to help your children. So like that, they are given some understanding. So the incidents like divorce, death of a family member, when a family member suffers from physical or mental illness, so like cancer, so then they need family counseling. Family counselor handles such problems and help the client to find necessary solution to the problem. So then finally, that he or she, the counselor, helps the client to find necessary solutions. That's the most important thing. Only to find the solution, not they directly find solutions. They help the client to find solutions. Okay. Psychology counseling. What are the psychological problems children have? Yan Balan. What are the psychological problems children have? Yeah. Yes, tell. Psychological problems. Psychological problem.
Family backgrounds.
Psychology problem. Depression, anxiety, stress, right? Tension. Those things are the causes for psychological problems. So then, through psychology counseling, it helps to handle relationships. Sometimes breaking of love causes them to have some psychological problems. Yeah. Relationship breakdown. Then sometimes they have a lot of work. So then they can't manage their workload. So then they get stressed, they get pressurized. Then they have some fears, some phobias, anxiety. So they have problems with the family. So they have some difficult situations. Right. Next one. Work through depression and sadness. So these are some characteristics of psychological problems, right? Depression, sadness. So then they get counseling from the psychology counselor. Okay? Thereby they develop creativity, self-exploration, they find their path. Okay. So psychology counseling aims to manage the difficulties. So they help people with difficulties and they help transform personal problems into personal growth. As well as it helps people to keep relationships, deal with stress and other pressures. Deal right? If they have some psychological problems, these psychology counseling help them to deal with the problems without having any harm. Okay, right. That's all. If you have any problem now, you can tell. Yanban, if you need any place that you need any clarification, you tell. Anything you need to get clarified. මොනවා හරි දෙයක් ආයෙ අලුතෙන් අහගන්න ඕන නම් තේරුන්නේ නැත්තම් you tell now. Okay. Anything you want to get clarified up to now what we have discussed? තමනා හරිම තේරෙන තේරෙන්නේ නැති යක් අහන්න මෙන්න මේක මට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. මුකුත්ම තේරෙන්නේ නැද්ද? It's easy when you read you can understand it. It's very easy. We were talking about අපි කතා කරේ social guidance, how it is important because there are some people who cannot adjust to the environment. So they face a lot of problems. Therefore, it is essential to get social guidance from the counselor or a guide. Then we were talking about the moral guidance. So it should be given from the very beginning. Otherwise, we can't give them halfway. Then health guidance. So there are some people who are responsible for giving health guidance. Right? Who are they? Doctors, nurses. So they are the people. Right. Then health guidance should be given at every stage of life of the students. Then objectives of guidance at the primary education stage. Then objectives of guidance at the secondary stage. We discussed all these things. The objective of guidance at the higher level of education. Higher level will be upon guidance. Like even university, when you go to university also sometimes you need guidance. Right. Then we talked about development functions of guidance. Providing guidance to childcare providers. We discussed about that. Okay. Any other thing? We discussed. Counseling we discussed. Counseling is what kind of relationship?
Between the client and the counselor.
What's the special thing about counselor?
He's a professionally trained person.
Okay, he's a professionally trained person. Right, so these are the definitions given by different people. You have to by heart one. හොඳ definition එකක් by heart කරන්න කටපාඩම් කරගන්න. Right, so there are three main activities that make up the counseling. What they are? Yeah, what are these three steps of counseling?
Informing, advising, and
advising, counseling.
Yeah, informing, advising, and counseling. You can understand them. Okay. Right. So areas of counseling, we give educational counseling. Why do we give educational counseling? Because
to solve up the problems regarding
yeah, they try to solve educational problems encountered by the children. Okay. Family counseling. Why do we give family counseling? Okay. Right. Why do you need family counseling? Because of the family problems. Children are neglected by the family members. Divorce, death of loved ones. So these are the essential things that the family counselors need to attend. Psychology counseling. Why do people get psychology counseling? Due to breakdown of relationships, right? Then if they have so much of pressures, tension, right? They need psychology counseling. Okay. That's all. If you have anything to be clarified or anything you want to ask, you can tell.
Madam, when referring to that LMS,
Anipute, yes, talk louder. What is that?
when referring to the LMS, I found that under the first semester guidance and counseling note. Refer to that also.
Now, if you get this new PowerPoint presentation, that would be enough. Now, this I'll be sending. I think it's in the LMS. I have already done these things before. If they don't have, you inquire them whether they are in the LMS. If not, I can send you. I can send it to the group. Then it can be sent to you.
Okay, madam.
Right. Anything you don't understand here? Now I think this is easy. You can understand. Anything you want to get clarified, you tell me. You can ask me. I don't understand this. How can it happen? So you can ask if you want. Okay. No problem with the note today. You understood everything? Yeah, Buddha?
Understood, ma'am.
Okay. Right. The thing is that you have to practically use the knowledge with the students. That's the most important thing. Not learning this thing and writing the exam and passing. You have to be a good guide. You have to be a counselor for your students because children have lots of problems. You should understand them. You have to attend to them. You have to listen to them. Listening is also a very good therapy. අහගෙන ඉන්න එක විතරක් වුණත් ඒක හොඳ therapy එකක්. So they release their pressures, they release their problems. So then help them, listen to them, find their problems. ඒගොල්ලන් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න හොයන්න. සමහරට හරිය ලොකු ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන ළමයි ඉන්නවා. So it's a great thing as a teacher if you can do that. Rather than only teaching the subject, you have to look into the matters of the children. Okay. So then can we stop the class then? Anything you want, you can ask.
No.
Hello? Okay, Buddha. Right. So thank you for joining. We'll
Thank
meet
you,
again.
madam.
Okay, right.
Good night, madam.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night, ma'am.
Good night. Buddha.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, you
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night.
Madam.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, madam. Good night.